Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collected podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 617. We are live tonight. It is Thursday, April 3rd. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Christian.
What up?
And Phil.
Howdy.
And Anna. We have lots of news to cover tonight, with all the leaks and everything that had happened earlier, and nothing else though.
Nothing else.
Absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, we're going to talk about nothing else until we actually have concrete information on that.
Oh, okay. Like, I understand your statement there, but we're freaking talking about a leak list, which is about the least concrete information you could ever have.
I thought of that as I was saying it. This leaker is more credible than the other thing that we're not talking about.
Yeah, I agree with Christian in that statement.
Only concrete information tonight. So we're just going to talk about the MP Optimus you guys already talked about.
You know.
So tonight's all about concrete and asphalt and pavement.
What's the difference?
I just want to say that the leaker guy has never let me down.
That's true.
So he's only given me joy.
Dude, Zaldron brought up the Naked Gun trailer. That was amazing.
Wait, there's a Naked Gun trailer?
Yeah.
There's a new Naked Gun movie coming out. I had no idea until today.
What?
Yes.
Who's in it?
Liam Neeson plays Leslie Nielsen's son.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Liam Neeson is no spring chicken himself.
No. But it's not like Leslie Nielsen was that young when he made the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet he is actually young enough to be Leslie Nielsen's son, even though he's now quite old.
Right.
And then Paul Walter Hauser is in it as the son of the heavier set detective.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to check it out after we get done with the show. But
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, tonight we got MP17, I guess, or MPG17, I should say. We discussed, like, we kind of, after the show ended last week, we, like, had to get back on right away to kind of discuss it. I guess, Phil, you weren't there. Like, what are your thoughts? Are you getting it?
I don't think so. It's like, I don't know. I literally just opened up like a month ago my MP44S. So I've got him back up on the shelf behind me now. So now that I have a MP44 on my shelf, and again, it's a very recent acquisition and an opening, I don't really have any desire to get another MP Optimus. And that one just like, I've got no problem if people like it. Just for me, it really doesn't hit any buttons. It's like trying to please so many audiences that, in my opinion, it pleases none. I don't know. That's a weird way to put it. I mean, I know there's people who like it. It's just like it's trying to spray to so many fields. I don't have any affinity for it.
Yeah, and Anna, what are your thoughts? Are you getting it? Like, is it look like knockoff third-party goodness to you?
No, not at all. It doesn't look like a knockoff or a third-party toy. It very much looks like a Takara product. But I'm a little sticker shocked on it. Like, I don't think I can spend that much on.
Oh, what's the price? I didn't see that.
All we know is 25,000 yen, which, like, in US dollars right now, it's 200-ish, But
Weirdish. But
I mean, he doesn't have a trailer, and the rumor that certain friends of mine are quoting as if it is absolutely true is that he is 7.5 inches tall. I do not know if that is actually certain, but that is not very big for that price tag, right? It's basically suggesting that he is going to cost about the same as the trailerless MP44, but be much, much smaller. And it's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow for me. I really like the idea, though. This idea of style gen, this idea of taking a little bit from here and a little bit from there and a little bit from here and a little bit from there and making like an Optimus that's a fusion of everything. That's pretty cool. Like, I think we're at that phase in this series, and Transformers have so many iterations that it's time to do stuff like that. And it's really neat to do it. I just don't know if I can quite buy like a luxury Optimus that's relatively small that just does something I enjoy. Now, when the companion Bumblebee comes out and is over $100, but combines little bits of this, little bits of that, and hopefully leans G1, I might be persuaded on that because I really like Bumblebee. Now, if he leans to movie, I'm out, but the Optimus leans more G1 than anything else, so I'd expect a Volkswagen-ish Bumblebee with some callbacks to this and callbacks to that. Half a Mustang over here and whatever.
door wings.
Yeah, door wings, right? Like they could do door wings and he could have I don't know, a little bit of more ruggedness to homage the whole dune buggy look, and they could do things that would combine all the different Bumblebees. It would be really cool, and he could have his little handgun majig that he's had in various iterations, somewhere between a Stainer from the animated or just the handgun from the movies. It could be really neat to do that kind of thing, and I'm into it. I like that concept a lot.
So that's what Style Gen is supposed to be?
That's what we've decided it is.
Okay.
With my inability to read any Japanese.
Yeah, I just don't see that coming through in Optimus. I think it's just a thing on my fault.
Optimus very hard.
Cool.
Like to me, if you look at the Optimus, right, and our friend Paul did a very thorough analysis of this in another unaffiliated video. But if you look at him, he like his lower arms just have very slight little bits of color to them that really homage more of, some people say it makes them think of Classics Optimus. Some people say it makes them think of Beasttown USA / Rise of the Beast, for those people who don't use cool terms. Optimus. He has the dual arm blades, movie thing.
I can see those.
He has the giant antenna that is either G1 era box art or G1 comic book cover. That original comic book cover where he has the 15-foot antenna.
And Diaclone, concept. He's got the shoulder cannon, and the Diaclone concept had the pointy antenna.
Yeah.
He's got the long antenna and the IDW ongoing too.
Yeah.
Where they had that weird kind of live action-ish art style for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it combines all those things. He has the shoulder cannon that does the Diaclone art, and then they gave him the Siege Axe.
Yeah, that's the one.
That is the one that really gets me. The freaking Siege Axe, because it's that is a toy callback to something that they did once, and it really does just look like that Siege Axe. It doesn't really look like they did a lot to change it.
Does anyone remember if he used that axe in the Siege cartoon?
I think so.
Okay.
Very slowly, but yeah.
He did very slowly. But it's cool because, there's that, and then, his shoulders feel like they come straight from MP10. The way the waist transforms feels like it comes straight from MP10. He's got just little bits of Optimus history in him. He's almost an Optimus history lesson, which I think is really neat.
Optimus Frankenstein.
Well, yes.
That's even more appealing to Anna.
I was going to say the same thing. You caught me before I got to see it myself. It is more appealing to me. But, yeah. So I'm excited excited for that. Like, I really like it. I kind of wish I almost wish it had a little less polish and was a little over $100 instead of creeping up on 200. Right? That's a little
Yeah,
past what I want to spend on
I
yet
mean, we don't
another
necessarily know
Gastron
the
Optimus
U.S.
Prime.
price. I know
We don't.
Enots and Paul in the chat were both saying that it's currently around $150, like with whatever. But then of course that's the before whatever price.
We're a year out. You can never predict exchange rates that well. We're a year
Right.
out. Whatever you're gonna have to pay for shipping, whatever. We'll Pulse offer it. We'll Pulse not offer it. We'll Pulse offer it for a good price.
Oh,
We'll Pulse offer it for a
I am
price that's
sure
closer.
that Pulse is gonna offer it.
Yeah,
Probably.
just like they offered the 40th edition MP and Bumblebee.
Right.
They
Exactly.
did not.
They are in fact quite inconsistent. So, anywho, I am really in for it. Like, I really do like it. I just don't know about that price for me. And I think part of it is just because I currently own more Optimuses than I actually want to own. Right? Like,
Right.
I have bought Optimus on multiple occasions just because it's a really cool toy, like the Studio Series one, right? Like, that is just a remarkable toy. I didn't really need another Optimus Prime in my life. That toy's remarkable. So,
Well, like, what compelled
have
us to buy the Studio Series one? But then, where this one comes out, and that was like our whatever 80th Optimus Prime, and this one that's the 81st one that you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sorry, I don't need 81 primes. I only need
well, that's
80.
easy. That was a fully featured Optimus that came with the Trawler, had the full playability, was supposed to literally fill in your 86 collection, has a bunch of 86 friends to go with of a continuing line, is kind of a capstone figure for an ongoing line.
Right.
Whereas the new guy, Island right now, he will be the first of his people, right? He will be all by himself on your shelf until they release another one, which with Takara's rate of releasing in PG or anything else is probably going to be a solid half year to a year before there's any friends for him.
I kind of disagree with that point.
Ooh, you think he can fit into other places because he's style gen?
I think he fits in well with the first MPG releases, the train bots. I think that
Nothing fits with those.
I just think, I mean, not exactly, because he's going to be more polished than the train bots were, but I think he's got that similar sort of mainline plus sort of look and feel to him. He's got the one of the things that I think turned off some of the people with the train bots was that they were not slavish to any of the previous looks of the train bots. They were like updated new versions, like a generations versions of the train bots. This to me feels like a generations version of MP Optimus Prime, or an MP Generations Optimus Prime. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not really attracted to him, because he sprays so many fields that he just doesn't hit one. And for me to spend that kind of money, like if that toy was coming out in an $80 leader, $80 commander or $55 leader, I might be more inclined to buy him. Like, I really like the Regeneration Prime toy that they did a few years ago. I'm cool with fun reimaginings.
I mean,
I'm not cool with fun reimaginings that are $150, $200.
I mean, look, MP10 that came out a bazillion years ago at this point was over $200 at the time. And I mean, I think when it finally released in the US, like Toys R Us, how much was that?
$100.
It was $100.
Yeah, they got it out
but
real
like
cheap.
the Takara price was over $200 back in the day. And I mean, granted that came with a trailer, but like I mean, I think just with price increases and all that kind of stuff too, like I don't necessarily know that this is like out of line, assuming that it's like under $200 or whatever on the thing. I actually think that this can slot in with the older masterpiece, uh, like stuff. The stuff that's not animation accurate. I think it actually, I think that MP10 is a super fun toy. But it kind of is showing its age definitely at this point, right? And so I think that you can kind of slot this in with those, and then if they release redo all of those, then you can get updates for those, or if they don't, then I think it still kind of fits in, at least with that. I think the ones that's the outlier is MP44 and like that Bumblebee
Seekers.
that came after that and all that, and some of the Seekers and all that. Like I think that's the stuff that is out of line with the other decade of masterpiece that they had released. So I don't know.
I did see people make that same point, Lucas, that he fits in nicely with the aesthetic of like the MP Sideswipe, for instance. And right. I think that is a cool way to think about it. I've got no problem with MP Sideswipe on my shelf. That's not 100% screen accurate. I still think he looks good enough for what he was. But just like, but that's the only MP Sideswipe we have. MP Optimus. This will be the third one. So.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we are like blessed with a plethora of options. And so it's like, what are you showing, Anna?
I'm just playing.
Scorponok?
I'm just having ugly Scorponok appear. It's ugly rar.
I feel like we're blessed with just so many different options that it's like, if you don't like it, you can skip it. And if you think it's cool, like in a cool update, it also makes me feel a little bit sad. And this is kind of the way of all this stuff where I feel like it's like, oh, well, MP44 just came out, or the Combiner Wars combiners just came out. And then you like look and you're like, oh wait, like all that stuff came out before COVID. Like it's been like 6 years or 10 years or whatever kind of thing on a lot of the stuff where like, yeah, I guess it is time for an update for some of the stuff.
I will say for the MP44 comparisons in like the timeline kind of sentiment is we have gotten some fairly recent repaints of MP44. Like didn't MP44 Shattered Glass just come out pretty darn recently?
It's coming out now.
So yeah, it's not even really out yet. So that I think adds to the sentiment of like the proximity in time.
But if you want to add to that repaint argument, aren't we still waiting for the MP Ironhide repaint?
Yeah.
And that figure's older than Christian, right? Like,
that's right.
The Ironhide is ancient.
Yeah, he's so old he's got to wear adult diapers.
Old release.
I think this just goes to show, my comment last week that Masterpiece is irrelevant is correct. It doesn't know what it is. It's this thing that is faithful to nothing. It's repaints of old molds. It's Gen Rise that don't look Masterpiece but look Generation. So, like, whatever. Masterpiece is done.
I agree.
I don't necessarily know. Like, it's not like Mainline doesn't do that too. How many Optimus?
Yeah, but Mainline doesn't charge you $200 a pop.
Well, not now. Maybe however many years down the road, right?
Months.
How much? Yeah, I was gonna say they are the whatchamacallit, the Titan class figure that's coming out, right?
There's $149.99 now.
Right, $140.
They were $199.99, but now they are smaller and cheaper.
Right. For now until like that price creeps up too. So
maybe.
Anyone else see the Triptychon shipping?
Oh, is it?
No, I hope I get one soon. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, very good. So But yeah, the topic of the show is supposed to be, I think, the leaks, right, that are coming up. So essentially, the next year, and I think we talked about this like I don't know, a couple weeks ago on the show or a few weeks ago, where we're
Last
like,
week.
man, or was it?
It was like it was
week?
about this. It was like 3 weeks ago, a year ago. That
yeah,
happened.
yeah. We're all like, man, where's
And
the
I was like,
leaks at? And then
where
like
is that?
literally it
Surprise.
came somehow Christian willed it into existence again.
I am known to do that from time to time.
Yeah.
His link list is too long. Like I don't want to read it. It's too long.
That's okay. I like reading. I know how to read. That's what you guys bring me on these shows
That's
to
good.
talk to anyway.
Exactly.
Dude, look at me. I have a high school education. Man, my name's Christian.
That's right.
I teach at the college level. High school education does not guarantee being able to read.
All right, fine. Well, whatever. Christian's better than us. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That is the point. Yeah.
That's the point.
Well, it's more that this is a lot of information. But what I'm more getting at, like, this is a ton of information to process all at once.
It's the entire main line of both lines for next year.
Yeah, for an entire year.
No exclusives.
Yeah,
Maybe. We'll get to that. You're dropping out. What is it?
2006 toys?
2026. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed with.
It's like 2006 was classics. I think we're a long way past that.
Yeah.
About 20 years past that.
I'm just disappointed with these leaks that we don't have like the old leaks like Power of the Primes where they actually leaked the entire like catalog, and so you actually have pictures and listings both. You don't remember
that? No.
Yeah, no, it was.
I don't remember pictures.
I swear to you, there was picture. It was like it was up and it was down because like I think like as soon as it got up, like Hasbro released like a cease and desist kind of thing to take it down because obviously that is not kosher to release the actual stuff.
I don't know. I've
Do you want to get started?
I will say my favorite leaks that we've had in the past have been the instructions that randomly had a different head for the robot.
Man, I miss those from
those were fun.
2010 generations ish.
Exactly.
Man,
I never did get that like lug nut with the Zaku
lug
head.
Nut one, the reflector head on Perceptor.
Yeah.
A couple others, I think. The hard head for Warpath.
But yeah, those were fun teases.
Those were fun. You got to think they were accidental, but I guess we never got to the bottom of that one.
You should ask
Mark was around then. I can ask him. I mean, he won't. I don't know if he'll answer, but I can ask.
Wouldn't Aaron know?
Maybe. He was around then too. I do know him a little bit better. As in, at all. I'll ask him. Okay, you want me to get started? I'm going to get started into the Primes.
So before you start, they are, I guess, apparently disappointed in the chat about Brawl being a Voyager.
We'll talk about that when we get to him. I think there's reasons.
Put a pin in it.
Does he make the pants?
We're going to put a pin in that. No, he does not make pants. You ready?
Yep.
We're going to do this? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Age of the Primes. We're going to start with deluxes. First, we got Quintus Prime. Yeah, Quintus.
Another Prime, yeah.
Yep. We have Sure Shot for like the 4th or 5th time.
I don't believe you, Christian.
I know.
You told me, you assured me before that this is going to be in a Target pack. That's
the information I'd heard.
I was assured that it was going to be in, like, I think it's been how many different, like, toy lines?
I think it's at least 4. I think he was at the end of First Legacy, Third Legacy, Target pack, and now this. So I think this is his 4th time. Okay, Sure Shot is back. He's early in the list, so he's in like wave 1. So maybe that'll secure him a spot this time. Next we got Blast Off. Not super surprising. We know the Combaticons are in the works. We got Quick Strike, probably from Beast Wars. There are 2 other minor Quick Strikes, so it could be them, but probably not.
So I have a quick question. Based on these listings,
Sure.
have we been able to discern what the gimmick of the line is or the theme of the line necessarily?
Yeah, it's actually Age of the Primes.
Okay.
Hence Quintus Prime being in the line.
Oh,
It's year 2 of Age of the Primes. Nothing's changing.
Year 2, okay. I just didn't know if there was if they're switching it up and throwing in some skeleton dinosaurs or something like that. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like we're full on just doing classic stuff.
Okay.
And it's the first 2-year line we've had in this style in a while. Combiner Wars is 2 years, right? 18 months?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a little bit since we've had a 2-year line that didn't change. We had Legacy and then Legacy Evolution and Legacy Electric Boogaloo. What was last year called?
Evolution?
No.
Maybe.
University? United.
Was it
United.
Legacy?
That's what it was. It was University back when I was doing leaks for that line.
Right.
Yeah.
It's somehow all
United.
stuck with us.
So it says Age of the Primes. Maybe they'll get a subline imprint like that. I don't know. Right now, it just says Age of the Primes.
Yeah.
I mean, considering you're still getting a Prime and the boxes have all the Primes on them, I feel
think
like
it'll
at
just
least
be the
that
same.
artwork would stay the same.
Probably. Or maybe it'll be Age of the Primes Requiem or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I can see them calling it something slightly different and changing the box art just because
That's what they do.
They like to switch it up every year.
Yeah,
Age
we'll
of the
see.
Primes Revelations.
Sure.
Age of the
I'm
Primes
telling
Book
you.
of Revelations.
It's obvious what they're going to do. It's going to be Age of the Primes, Sex of the Primes, and Location of the Primes.
There you go. I could see them doing Age of the
Really?
Primes Covenant, because Covenant of Primus is a thing that they all have and they're mentioned in. I don't know. But right now it's just called Age of the Primes, so we're going to go with that for now. So we've got Quick Strike, presumably the Beast Wars Fusor friend. Yay, exciting. Next we have a deluxe smoke screen. There's a lot of smoke screens.
Yeah. Is it
Usually
maybe
if
a
it's-
Prime?
Usually when it's not G1, they will say,
Right.
we're going to get down to it later, but there's an animated figure and it says animated who that character
Yep.
is.
Right.
So I'm thinking, and there's a Prime character that says Prime that character, so I'm thinking this is a G1 smoke screen.
Yeah.
Could be Armada.
Kind of weird.
Could be, again, when it's not G1, they usually say where it's from. So I think this is just...
So that
Is it
would
in-
be... Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You'd use the Prowl mold from the Shuttle Attack, but since he wasn't really in the movie, it wouldn't necessarily be Studio Series.
Well, it's Earthrise Smokescreen's mold. He originated that version.
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's
is that a
right, yeah.
repack or a refresh or a more show accurate take? Maybe. We'll see.
They've been throwing in some older repack repaints, older mold repack repaints lately. It's a little frustrating.
I think that's probably what this is. But hey, if he's got that lighter color palette, then the Earthrise one was kind of skewed towards the darker one. Okay, sure.
Also, I don't mind them filling the shelves with that stuff. That way, people who weren't collecting at the time can get it. That way, people who
Right.
skipped it at the time can get it. That way,
Earthrise has been 5 years ago, and there hasn't been a
random
smokescreen
fan can
since.
get it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
remember when we had the Siege smokescreen, and then 3 months later we got the Earthrise smokescreen? That was a slap in the
That was
face.
frustrating. Yeah.
That was real frustrating. Next, we have probably a new figure, Power Glide as a deluxe.
And
Cool.
then
We were
a
talking
lot
about
of
mini
options
bots
on
last
him.
week.
As we were discussing, we're like, "Where's Powerglide at?" There he is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
Similarly, we
happened.
have Deluxe Swerve, who presumably will be from the Legacy Gears mold,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. Again, we were talking about mini bots missing. Now they're going to fill in some of those spots.
Right.
Next up is Deluxe Animated Ratchet. which is very exciting. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier, where if it's not G1, they tell you where it's from. So
I wish he was a
animated
Voyager.
Hmm?
I wish he was a Voyager.
Yeah, he's kind of a tall guy.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I
he's not a
get like
Voyager.
his original toy was a deluxe, but you know, I mean, the fact that we just got Red Alert as a Voyager, they're both ambulances. Why is animated Ratchet's ambulance got to be smaller?
I think we are deeply into the age of class is more complexity than size. So he could be a pretty big deluxe and have deluxe complexity, but be large.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
really
point.
no. I don't think there's much doubt that could happen at this point.
Do you think we would get a repaint of Ironhide? A repaint
The
as
animated
Ironhide?
one? No.
Yeah.
If it was Cybertronian, maybe, but Earth mode, no. The final deluxe is Prime Cliffjumper. You might recognize from the Target pack from last year.
Now, is
Mhm.
that, would you consider that face slappy?
Would I consider that what?
Face slappy.
If it's the same, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I do literally have that 4-pack completely unopened. Because
Yeah,
I never
he was
got
the
the
big
energy
draw
to
for
even
that.
open it.
Him and Squeeze Play.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It could be the
I can't open
Terracon
it.
version.
it could be the Terracon version. That's what
It
I'm
could be.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
They've not released any of those 4-pack guys outside of those packs ever. So it leads me to think that
would be
there's
kinda-
something different about this.
Yeah.
Or it could be
But-
a way to ease it into the Terracon version, right? Like it's just release it as Prime Cliffjumper. Maybe the colors are a little bit different, right? It comes with a different accessory, and then the Terracon one comes out in the next year.
Yeah, maybe. It's an odd one. I don't know what to make of it just quite yet. We'll see. That was the last deluxe. I'm going to move on to Voyager, unless there's something.
Oh, wait.
else I wanna touch on before
What
I
if
do.
he is? Oh God, I'm forgetting that weird subline. But it was the Prime. It was the Prime Cliffjumper body with a
GDO
Cliffjumper head. Yeah, that'd be kind of funky.
I really liked that toy back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Had a
We got
really
that-
neat red color.
Crazy wheelie that was a jazz.
Crazy wheelie, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And like the substitute Springer before we got a real Springer.
Yep, and that weird swerve from the cup mold, that's still really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was like such a weird pocket line that I just I skipped most of them, but still like looked at them fondly.
It's a weird time.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Voyager.
Okay.
Star Trek
First up,
Voyager?
we have Amalgamus Prime.
Okay.
He's an interesting dude. He doesn't have a defined form in fiction. Like, he's constantly shifting and looking different, so I suppose he'll have a final form. I looked at the Prime's artwork on the box, and he's got like a monocular kind of like whirl and backwards knees like whirl, so maybe he'll just look like that. We'll see.
Whirly.
You think he's a pre-mold for a new world?
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be kind of cool.
I'd have to see the alt mode first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, Amalgamus doesn't typically have one because he's like, think of like the Transformium in that stupid Age of the Extinction movie. That's what Amalgamus Prime is.
Hmm.
He's just like constantly shifting. So I don't know.
So you changed
the
into
next-
a My Little Pony made of cubes.
Yes, he's a Milo
Transformium
Pony
is
made
to
of
me.
cubes. Yes, that's correct. Or a Milo Pony that turns into a Beats pill via cubes. Great movie, love it. The next one's Voyager Brawl, so we're unpinning that now. So Brawl's a Voyager, and I think he's a Voyager because like Scrapper and Mixmaster are Voyagers. I think they have to have more parts or be denser in order to make feet. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's what they said about the Constructicons. And I think they actually made that argument even when they were talking about the Lyokaiser guys. That
Oh.
So they're really
that the
more
feet
Voyagers.
guys were a little more complicated. Right, I think that when they were really trying to make the point, like, these are Voyagers, they were like, look at our foot guys, we're complicated. Even though I don't think you could
Right.
really argue that the arm guys are Voyagers, you could definitely argue that the leg guys are Voyagers from a complexity standpoint. Just like I was saying, Ratchet could be big, but not complex and be a
Right.
deluxe. I think it's the same argument. Like, there's your other side, right? He's probably not going to be huge, but he could be footy.
Right. Or perhaps he'll come with a foot part as opposed to just being all skeleton. It depends on what happens with Onslaught.
I have a theory that's a little different than what you guys are discussing.
Yeah.
My theory is that he'd come with feet part for him and Swindle, so Swindle can be a little more scaled down as a Jeep, and you don't have to have a tank and the Jeep the same size.
Oh.
I can live with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can work with that.
Yeah. That Brawl's beefier and bigger and comes with some of the combining parts for Swindle to make the feet or knees or whatever.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
See, I don't think it would go exactly like that. I think it would go that he is beefier and bigger. Onslaught comes with both feet, and one of them is bigger. One of them has
That
the
could be
ankle
too.
action to it.
Or
Yeah.
they sell Swindle as a Voyager and he's the deluxe that comes with the feet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another way to do it.
I think it's more likely they wouldn't come with each other's stuff, and that Onslaught would come with their stuff. Though I don't think they'd come with each other's parts.
I mean, it's
Somehow,
not like
some
you can
way.
make the combiner without, more than one figure. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Anna, but at the same time, it's sort of like,
It's the problem with
Yeah.
the leak list. We're guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
all
We're just
guessing here.
I just want everyone to know that my guess is right, and Christian and Anna's guesses are wrong. Why is that such
That
a
argument,
difficult thing?
honestly, is going to be complexity based because that's the argument that the Hasbro guys make every time they freaking talk these days. Is
Yeah.
that class is complexity, not size. They never say
Yeah.
that literally, but they really do lay down the brickworks for complexity, not size. So
Hence
I
why
think that's really what
animated-
it's going to come down to.
Hence why animated Wasp and Bumblebee are itty bitty.
And they're just as complex as any other deluxe.
But they're definitely more complex than this guy.
That's a good argument of complexity being not great. Moving on.
Moving on, the next Voyager is animated Wreck-Gar.
Nice.
Such an odd one, right? Because I really don't need him. Because I think the original animated Wreck-Gar is like a perfect toy.
Pretty perfect.
It's pretty perfect.
But we'll
And
see
I
what
really
happens
don't
here.
want. I haven't enjoyed the modernizing of animated in Prime, really. So we'll see.
Right. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of neat that they're like, fleshing out the animated line and kind of adding to it. That it's not just we're gonna release like a handful of figures and call it a day. So like I don't know, that's the thing that's kind of cool about that. And then the other thing is like, again, when did the original animated line now is like going to be 20 years old by the
Almost.
time the
It'll be 18 when it comes out.
yeah, so like pretty close. So it's like I think that's the other thing is that it's like a lot of us may have had it, but at the same time, whatever, that was anyone that's can be labeled a kid or whatever probably doesn't have it unless they picked it up secondhand.
I mean, that's funny, Anna. You said a few minutes ago you're happy to see some figures re-released like Smokescreen because people might not have gotten them and now they're 5 years old. Then meanwhile we're like, oh, here's a new version of a toy that's 18 years old. And you're like, bah, I've already got one.
No, I agree with Anna on this one. I haven't enjoyed the modernization of animated either.
I haven't
That was
enjoyed
a
the
different
modernization
point.
of
That
them.
feels a different point.
That's the point she was making.
That was my point. Like the original. Okay, so I would prefer, Phil. I would be happier with this listing if it was literally anniversary animated re-release Rekgar, right? If it was literally like how we get the G1 figures in fancy packaging, if it was literally the animated figure re-released so people can have it because that figure's so good, I would literally be happier about it. Because either way, I'm not going to get it. But this way, a lot of my friends are going to replace what I know is a really good toy with a toy that looks less like what it's supposed to. And it's going to make me have a tragedy cry for all of you who make that mistake.
Do we think that this is going to be a Trash Master remold? That was sort of some speculation back when that came out.
I
I can
don't,
see that.
I don't think that just because Trustmaster is such a pull-aparty guy.
It's not
And
good.
there's nothing about animated Rekgar that makes him a pull-aparty guy, right?
Other than
like,
he's Rekgar, and Rekgar's typically a Junkion, but like it's tenuous.
Yeah.
I
But
also
this
don't
guy
know that they
is-
would do orange guy to orange guy. Like I don't see it.
they also don't really look that much alike.
They
Like,
don't.
even
It's
though
just the
both
same
are-
alt mode.
Because honestly, Trashmaster isn't a great dump truck, and animated Rekgar
Right.
is a great dump truck. Like, he really does look like a dump truck
Yeah.
in his truck mode.
Truck.
So, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case, and I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah, I
I
don't know who he could share with out of who we've seen so far, but
I could
Nobody.
see him being a remold of Prime Bulkhead.
I could see him being a remold of Prima, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Prima's
yeah,
got that
Talk
kind
about
of shape.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
the arms on the front and the
he
maybe.
gets some dump trucking. I
maybe.
can see it. All right,
Other than
Armada
that, yeah,
Sideways.
Bulkhead. Yeah, Armada Sideways is next. Very exciting.
Do you
So
think
this-
how much of the Minicon head gimmick do you think they will bring over?
I think since it's at a Voyager price point, we will see both minicons who can do the head thing and the rider thing.
I
That-
really hope so, because they've really been disappointing me with the Target Masters for the double Target Masters. Because while it is great to get double Target Masters and actually get both the Target Masters, those Target Masters are zero fun to play with. Like,
Right.
when I hold them in my hand and I'm like, oh, I like to mess with my small figures, it's like, eh, 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 eh.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it looks bad in this mode, and then it looks bad in this mode. Oh, man.
That's how they wear the G1. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but like they can like cut costs and say, hey, we're being, we're just homaging.
And I get that, but in the case of Sideways, that's not the case, right? The mini hunts for
Yeah.
Sideways actually were decent.
Yeah,
I
these are
would
like
much
really
rather-
important.
I would
Yeah, I
much
just-
rather they stuck with the quality of the mini cons that we've been getting, that we've only gotten a couple of, because those have been really good
Mhm.
mini cons so far. But I can't see them doing two of those and a deluxe Voyager price point.
So I want to say this. It's like Armada Sideswipe. When I first saw it, and when I first I think read about or saw pictures, I'm like, this sounds like it could be cool. And I think we saw him in the cartoon, and like, oh, this guy's kind of a badass. This guy's kind of cool. Purple motorcycle, that looks kind of neat. And then when I saw the toy, the main robot head wasn't bad. But then when you put on the mini cons to make the robot head, they were so disproportionately large, and their
Yeah.
legs became the antlers. And it looked dumb to me. And it's one of those gimmicks that the action featuring gimmick to me ruined that toy, and it makes me anxious for a new version of that.
Armada was a play featured toy line, right? Like, Armada was a different time. It was all about the play feature. It was all about being toys. It was all about playing with the mini cons. These figures aren't that. They will try to make it look like the animation while also homaging what people liked about the toy.
I think, Anna, that you're very right, and that we'll get something in between the minicons we've been getting and the Target Masters we've been getting. Like, it won't be as fully articulated as Windshear and Jolt. Or, no, sorry, Whisper and Jolt, which should be Windshear anyway. Whisper and Jolt. And they won't have quite as much articulation as them, but they'll be able to, like, interlink to be the rider and not have, like maybe some arms or something so it can ride, but then split apart and flip on and move the antlers. Like I don't think they'll be as articulated as they were in Armada. I think they'll be more articulated than Target Masters now, and it'll be some sort of new thing.
I might be
All right,
in
let's
the
get to the
minority on
next.
this. I'd kind of prefer them not to have mini cons and just be the straight up, either have the straight up animated head or have the straight up robot head.
Yeah, you're the minority on that because it's Pearl.
Yeah,
So,
there would be
fine.
no point to releasing it if you did that. That's his whole
This is why
thing.
it's good. He's a Voyager. This is why, and Christian, you said this is why he's good in He's going to be a good Voyager scale, which is for a motorcycle dude to be a Voyager scale, likely means we're going to get a lot of extra stuff.
I am frankly quite disappointed in our Armada toys so far because I pretty much like all of them. Like, they all look good, but they don't come with the mini cons, which was the whole point of the story, right? Like, it's not just that it was the point of the toys, it was the plot of the series. Was that mini cons did things, and they were powered, were the whole point of the plot.
Well, and I know that a lot of people have had that feedback, and I do wonder if they're going to try to rectify that again with the pack since it's a Voyager.
Because I think the Armada Wheeljack was like you're screwed, right? Like, I think it was like, ha ha ha, we did Shatterglass Sideswipe and gave him the mini con, and then we did the guy who actually existed and had the mini con, and he doesn't have it, and that was just like telling us, ha, you don't get what you want.
Yeah, that was very frustrating.
That bummed me out so much because I didn't even want to get that figure twice, right? I knew I was going to be bummed to have to own both things. I didn't really care about the Shattered Glass version. The Shattered Glass Sideswipe doesn't mean much to me, but I really wanted that figure, and I really wanted that mini-con, so I went ahead and got it. And I was like, man, I'm going to end up with two of these, and I'm going to definitely like the Wheeljack better because he's a character who has meaning to me. And then he didn't come with the mini-con. You know what? I didn't even get him. Even though I was excited for him, I like how he looks, I like what they did with the character. Without the mini-con, it just bugged me so dang much. So yeah, gotta come with the mini-con. Fixing it,
We gotta
Hasbro
do
friends.
something. I mean, I don't even keep track anymore, but I think we're like 10 mini cons behind now.
I think so. But in the honor of getting done, go to the next us figure.
Yeah, it's Voyager Nexus Prime. It was a real kick in the pants for me because it should have been a combiner team.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
you've been
Nexus
talking
Prime
for
is the
months
first
about wanting
combiner. And I thought that's why they were doing aerial bots and Combaticons first, because in the Fun Pub toy, he was made of aerial bots and Combaticon analogs, although they have to do some remolding. But yeah, this is a Voyager standalone figure. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be a little bit optimistic, but if they're just like, oh, he can combine with any of the combiner dudes, I'm going to be real disappointed.
Yeah.
He'll be too small.
Yeah, exactly.
Or too big, depending on how you think about it.
Unless he's going to be a repaint of Silverbolt without, like, and you would still need Silverbolt, like the back end of Silverbolt.
The skeleton stuff, yeah.
No. He's not new Silverbolt. He's Combiner Wars.
It's Combiner Wars Silverbolt.
Yes, Combiner Wars Silverbolt. Yes, there you go.
It's essential combiner, right? Like, it's been like the butt of our jokes forever since they literally made it Combiner Wars Silverbolt. I would pat them on the back for that joke.
I would buy it because the joke would be so funny.
The joke would be too good.
Oh man, now I kind of hope it's that. It won't be, but like, it's odd. I mean, maybe it's a different kind of thing, and it's a combiner unto himself.
See, combiner unto himself, to me, that screams take apart guys, right?
Right, at that scale, that's a take apart guy.
Yeah, right. And like, what if it was like a take apart guy, but the arm kind of had a face on it and feet by the hands, so you could like stand it up and be like, it's a guy, but it has no articulation.
Well, that's essentially what the combiners were for the RID 2015.
Mm-hmm.
But those I still think managed to kind of like they kind of scratched that G1 itch because they really felt like G1 combiners in a lot of ways. So it was like, oh, those are kind of fun. This would be terrible.
Yep.
What I'm imagining right now is awful. It's like if you take what are those stupid things called where you put them together and they're bad and they're at the store right now and no one wants them? Swapticons. I'm kind of imagining 5 Swapticons that you stick together to make a horrible robot.
No, it's 1 deluxe size toy and 4 Swapticons for the limbs.
Oh, it has no
Oh.
limbs. Just stick Swapticons on
He's
it.
just like walking around like this, just stumps.
You're gonna bum Christian out too much here, just thinking
Think
about
about this, Christian. We have set your cognitive anchor so low that whatever they release is surely going to be less
a good
disappointing
point.
than that thing we just constructed.
That's a good point. It's just
Because you just imagined it. Like, you have a visual of what that is in your head
oh
now.
yeah. Oh no, I know. I got it. It's bad. It's real bad. So yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm very suspicious of this figure because this is not what it needed to be. It needed to be the Titan for next year and just be a combiner team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we'll see how that goes. We're going to move on to leader now. The first one we have is Big Convoy.
Come on, Ultra Mammoth.
Mhm.
I agree. Or Blue Big
Next
Convoy.
year, Jin
Or
Select,
Nemesis Prime.
Ultra Mammoth.
Or yeah. But yeah, Ultraman's great. We'll do that one. But I'd heard that Big Convoy is going to be the MTO. I'm glad it's not because MTOs should be cheaper and repaints. Just be repaints. Be crazy, quirky repaints.
Well, that's the thing you could say. Think is that they release that and then they release a bunch of repaints or whatever as MTOs.
I'd love it. Speaking of repaints, then sorry, go.
No. I mean, I want to get distracted by Big Convoy, but we've got a lot of lists left and we're almost an hour in, so.
Okay. The next one's Leader Universe Razor Claw, which is very exciting to me. That's the black and purple repaint of Tigerhawk.
Yeah.
Know that he is Razor Claw, because that's what he says all the time. He wants you to know. He asks you to know that he's Razor Claw.
Do you think we'd get the alternate, the helmeted head on the Tiger?
I kind of do, actually.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think that makes sense. It won't be like a removable visor. It'll just be an alternate thing with it on.
Yeah, different mold, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably. Well, I'm not going to say probably. I'm going to go with maybe, and I would like that. The next we have a Commander. Very surprising. Just kidding. It's Onslaught. Which is cool. We like Onslaught. It's just, if we're doing combiners, that's who the Commander's going to be for the next several years. It's the combiner guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
After that, we have a selects listing for G2 Swoop and Sludge.
There you go. All the G2 Dinobots, it looks like, are coming.
Yep, because we have Slag and Snarl later this year, and Grimlock, of course, is coming out right about now. So that'll be the last pack.
I'm still surprised of Leader 2-packs being anything in existence. That's going to be a big number when those prices come out on them.
But excited to get those decos finally because they have never come out. Swoop and Sludge, the other three have.
Right.
And that is all for Age of the Primes at this time. I'm going to move on to Studio Series now.
Sure.
Okay.
This first one's a great word salad.
What?
Great word salad in the Studio Series line. Series A level Delks Dev Bumblebee.
Oh, well, the level A whatever is the perennial thing throughout the year.
Well, that's what it is, but when you look at it, it's just a pile of words. It is a great pile of words.
It's Devastation Bumblebee. He's one of the A levels for next year, which will be some sort of Bumblebee mold in those Devastation colors that look exactly like anything else. Probably that one. Probably that mold.
Although
Clearance B.
Prime's an all new mold, right?
Prime is an all new mold,
right?
That's true. And then you guys.
When they made the Prime, they said they made him small so that everyone could be roughly the same size because they were roughly the same size as options. for your character in the game. So this, as contrary to a very small Optimus, could be a very big Bumblebee.
Could be.
That'd be kind of cool. Like I feel like they've done so many Bumblebees recently, and they're all incorrect. So let's just swing again and make another Bumblebee and disappoint me one more time.
Yeah,
Keep
it'll
it going.
be almost perfect though. Not quite. There'll be something like, that'll just make it like not perfect for you.
It'll be a little more righter than the other
Right.
ones, but still pretty wrong. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Have any of you played with or messed with the Devastation Prime that just came out?
No.
No.
I've seen it in hand. I do not like it. I've
I
held
look at
it.
pictures.
Yeah, the back has got so many big gaps. It's fugly. Paul likes
Bummer.
it. Paul, yeah. I'm glad you enjoy it. I have
Because at
fun
the
being
same
alone on that
time,
island.
that 2-pack of the car,
The
that's
Seeker and the
Devastation,
car?
right? And those are just straight up repaints of existing figures. So it could be the Bumblebee is a straight up repaint of existing figure. Whatever. We'll see what happens when it happens.
Yeah, the next A level is Transformers 1 Orion Pax, which might be a remold of that Optimus, or it might be something new. I mean, they have pretty significant differences.
One
new
baby doesn't
head, at
transform.
least. That's right. Orion does. Well, Orion does transform.
Well, you're
before he
right.
becomes
Right.
Optimus.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be a remold or something. I don't know. He'll be around. He'll be Pax-ish. Maybe he'll come with that blaster that the Optimus didn't come with. The one that Alita comes with. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're done with A-level. There's only 2 of those per year, so those are the 2. The more mainline stuff. We're going to start out with The Last Night Barricade. I have to think that this is a repack of the Last Night Premiere Deluxe Barricade. I don't know why they would make a new mold for that, but maybe they will. I don't know. What do I
It's an
know?
old
No,
toy.
they shouldn't make any more.
It's hard to
Yeah, it's
say.
an old toy.
I mean, we've talked about how that kind of was the precursor for Studio Series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. That'd be
There were
interesting.
people liking that toy.
It was decent.
It was a fun
Okay.
take on the character. I remember.
Barricade can only appear in odd-numbered films, so
I like
that's
Barricade.
his curse.
He was a good contribution of the films to make Barricade a character that shows up perennially. So
Mm-hmm.
The next one that I'm very excited for, and we talked about last week, it's 86 Wind Charger.
There you
Finally,
go.
Wind Charger.
Yet another
My
mini
greatest worry with this one was that they were going to make this new mold and release it first in a dead pack with Wheeljack. But they didn't. This is really I'm sure that it will happen. I'm positive that will happen, in fact, but at least it'll be normal first.
Yeah.
Speaking of dead guys, next up.
Next up is Sunstreaker. I was talking with Paul about this one, and you gotta double up on him because he's in 2 places at once. He's on the Autobot shuttle coming in, and he's also working on the road with Cup.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have 2 of them.
Yeah, so the Sunstreaker I think is amusing because we had Sunstreaker and everybody was criticizing it. Then we get the Sunstreaker in the multi-pack and everybody's criticizing it. Is this one going to be just a little bit better? Or
It'll
will
be,
be toy, or what will
no.
happen?
It's guaranteed it's going to be a slight remold of that figure, right? And
Yeah,
I
but
would
how many
love
people
it
even
if
got
it's,
that
like,
multi-pack?
remold, recolor. If it was a remold and they tried to make it a little more screen accurate, I would be happy. Because the 86, or not the 86, but the Generations Sunstreaker is not very screen accurate whatsoever. He's like this kind of gorilla-ish guy where the cartoon one never looked like that. So I would really love it if they made a Sunstreaker that was a little more accurate to what he looked like in the cartoon. I really don't like that Sunstreaker toy we got. I know y'all were okay with it before, but
I mean, it was
Buy
fun.
him
together.
now for the 3rd time.
yeah, for the 3rd time, please give me a better one. Like, I like Sunstreaker. Now I'm getting a Legend Sunstreaker this year. Finally, a good Legend Sunstreaker is coming out, so I'll be happy. But I would love it if they made a good mainline Sunstreaker that I actually thought looked like him.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anna. The Earthrise one, I was very underwhelmed by it.
Oh, doesn't look like him.
No.
The Autobots United one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Colors were better. Still doesn't look like him.
The next one is 86 Kranix.
That's weird. Kranix is weird.
There's a rock guy who actually means something to me. I'm excited for him. He'll have to be a new mole. He'll do that transformy thing like he does in the comics that he does not do in the movie. But it'll look neat, I think. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's fine. Bring him on.
I mean, I remember seeing him in the source book, the comic book, and seeing that vehicle mold and just being like, I would just stare at that. I would just stare at that for hours because I was dumb. And you know, that entertained me to stare at one image for hours. But like him and his buddy, Orbulus, and like the fact that we didn't see them in their alt modes, and here you get to see them in their alt modes, like, oh my God, that's great. Could you imagine if they did a toy with this? And like my brain was like kind of figuring out how I would transform.
We're gonna get Kranix, and then we're gonna get Orbulus. Don't you worry, that will happen. I'm positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be
86
exciting.
We need like a voice
for
chip.
86 years.
You
Live
need
forever.
a voice chip in that one.
Orbulus, look, it's Unicron. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nice though,
the
but
next-
disappointing Cliff Jumper.
It could be fine, Cliff Jumper.
It could be a fine Cliff Jumper. So you think it'll be out of that Bumblebee mold?
The 86 one, yeah.
Bumblebee? I hate the 86 Bumblebee, so I really
I
don't
just
like
want
it.
that to be Bumper, and that's it. That can be done. Just give me,
Yeah.
even, hey, third parties out there, make me a head, and I'll put it on my own clearance 86 Bumblebee. Just give me a Bumper head, please. Please. Please.
I just don't like that Bumblebee. Like, it's just not. It's not that it's a bad toy. It's just that when you have the competition of the Earthrise style Bumblebee, that one just is a little bit cooler. Still isn't right.
know.
Neither
I
of them are
like-
screen
I
accurate,
like
so
it.
they both harass me by existing.
Yeah. I like the 86 one. The only thing that annoys me about the 86 is the black windows. Like, I wish I could have made it blue, but otherwise I like it.
The windows any color, you're still gonna look wrong. But anyway,
This will be the second 86 Cliff Jumper, because we had one come out from the buzzworthy
We did.
Bumblebee line.
Yep.
But
that was
he'll
alright.
be there. The next one, we have Deluxe Transformers 1 Thundercracker.
That's fine.
Yep, we've got a Starscream coming later this year. It'll be a repaint of that. Yay,
Then
Thundercracker.
an exciting one.
Transformers 1 Arachnid. I kind of thought she'd be a Voyager to be, large, but
Right.
she'll exist, and that's good.
Yeah,
Let's hope she doesn't
she's
suck.
all right.
She'll be a black repaint of Elita 1. Just kidding, that won't happen.
I mean, you never know. Now a studio series is like, yeah, it kind of looks like it did on the movie. Yeah, you go.
Kind of.
Right.
Yeah, they'll have her helicopter mode. I think she'll have a cool head mold. So, yay.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to Voyagers now, unless Anna, you had something else.
Eh,
We have Voyager 86 Skywarp and Thundercracker. Let's talk about them together.
that's fine.
Just Seekers. I think
Cool. Seekers,
Skywarp will
good.
lose his screaming face. I
Probably.
think they'll have a little bit animation-y, more colors than the Earthrise version did. That's fine.
Will
Do you
Skywalker turn into Cyclonus?
I was chatting with Paul about this, and they need to have a 3-pack with Skywarp, Bombshell, and Cyclonus, and be like, "Who is this 3-pack?"
That would be great. Again, another one I would buy the set just because, like,
For the joke.
For the joke.
Right.
I have a Dark
Yeah,
Moon Cyberverse pack for the joke that it made, but we'll talk
Did
about
I
that
ever
later.
send you guys the picture of like some WWF Raw where like someone in the crowd is holding a sign that says "Bombshell and Cyclonus"?
I don't think you did, but I have seen it.
Okay, yeah.
Nice. But Starscream, and they gave him moving hands, right?
The Coronation one has moving hands. I suspect that we'll see that again.
So you think they'll just carry over the hands? With these
Probably.
guys might as well, so they don't look weird with their brother.
Yeah.
Although Starscream's kind of a jerk, right? So he would be like, "I have moving hands and you don't, you plebs,"
Maybe.
and it'd be cute. So maybe that's what happens.
I think the main draw will be the slightly more animated colors and then the fixed face for Skywarp.
Yeah.
Because right now the Skywarp you can get is just constantly yelling all the time. That's what he does.
Right.
As you should be.
And we cannot have expressive faces in mainline. We obviously had to have neutral faces. Anna hates expressive faces.
That's true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everyone knows that Anna is very against freedom of expression.
That and I also really hate good shoulders.
That's right.
Sitting here, just
Yeah.
playing with this Rat Trap figure and thinking, "Wow, I'm sure glad his shoulders are really stupid." Because if they were good, I just couldn't enjoy them. So it's great that his shoulders go down here. He's like, "Oh, look, I have pants shoulders."
Hey, I just dislocated my arm. Someone pop it back in for me.
The next Voyager we have is 86 Shockwave. I'm thinking this will be like the dramatic capture one. It'll be the leader Shockwave without all the leader nonsense.
Right.
I could
Wait, are they
wonder-
gonna actually make one that like looks like a space gun?
It'll look like the thing that he currently looks
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Or it'll just be the same as the comic book one, but without the comic book dots. It'll be the same colors, but without the comic book dots.
Yeah, that's why I think it'll be that, because they just released that as a figure.
Can I just throw out my dream for this figure?
Yes,
they
you
just
can.
They just take the existing Shockwave and they take a Dremel to him and they just flatten out all those unnecessary details and then they make him the right color. Oh, I would love it so much.
You know, I was chatting with Paul about that. Same with the Seekers, actually. Just take out all those blast effect greebles. I think I would love that.
Just dribble the crap out of that thing
Yeah.
so that he no longer... Because my things I don't like about that current Shockwave is just he's the wrong color and he just has too much of the siege detailing.
Very
like
agreeable.
the siege detailing could have been fun, but it got over. It was like, etching across his entire body levels of... It was just too noisy.
I think that's definitely one that I would replace with this one. The Seekers, I'm not sure. I've got to see, but like Shockwave, yeah, I think I would replace my Shockwave.
I mean, it worked well at the time for that line, but then to shoehorn that into an 86 line feels lazy.
I actually didn't like playing with him because he had so much. Touching him was annoying because he had so many details.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that toy.
And the space mode. Siege was a waste of a line.
He just looked like such an awesome, space battleship, and then, or you could turn his parts into some cannon surfboard thing he'd ride on. I don't know. I loved it. I loved that toy. I love that toy.
Beyonce, he doesn't need a surfboard.
I do too.
The final Voyager we have is Transformers 1 Alpha Trion.
That's cool.
It's cool. He was a big fellow, so he can have a big toy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving on to leaders, we have an 86 Soundwave. I feel like they just did, except that was Legacy.
Yeah, it wasn't 86.
So
would it be
a new mold?
I guess at least it makes me feel good that I didn't get the Legacy one. That I can get whatever this is.
Well, and we're getting Rat Bat with Perceptor. So
and Ramhorn.
Right. But I'm talking in terms of Decepticon tapes. So I mean, I don't know. And we've got
they just did a leader Soundwave that had 3 tapes.
Yep.
So if you do the scene, it's Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, Rat Bat. So Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage. But Laser Beast number 2, so I don't know.
Ravage, I would be excited if it got us a new tape Ravage.
Evan has gone on record talking about this figure in hypothetical terms, that if they were going to do an 86 Soundwave, it would be a new mold. Does that mean anything?
That. I think it does mean something.
It might mean something.
I don't think he would purposely lie. And I think by the time he made that statement, this figure was probably already in the oven.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I imagine he was probably just literally delivering the truth.
We've been
However,
working on this.
I don't think he purposely lied. I just don't think he's high enough in the chain of command to make the choice.
as a person in the company, he would call it a new mold if it was a very, very similar mold with a few changes. So
Right.
it could be only slightly redesigned.
I mean,
That's
there's not
so
going to
similar, most of us
be.
wouldn't care that much.
I feel like with Soundwave, it's not like there's only so many ways to skin the cat. So,
Don't skin cats.
well, yeah.
But I was actually
We don't
talking
endorse
to Catherine about this last weekend, and I feel like if they did the whole the style gen treatment for Soundwave, it would be utterly boring because Soundwave is almost always trying to be G1 Soundwave. Right? We keep getting Soundwave toys, and they are always trying to just be G1 Soundwave. Like,
I don't know, Prime was
even Prime, okay, like there was a couple exceptions,
Yeah.
right? Like we have the
Prime and
Soundwave
animated.
that's an entirely different mess
And
of
movie,
things.
yeah.
We have an animated version, we have a Prime version. Like those are different guys. But most of the time, Soundwave's just like another Soundwave, and it's just trying to be G1 Soundwave. And then we try to do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again.
And I would even say, Christian, that animated Soundwave is G1 Soundwave with a different alt mode. I mean, he had the line and designs to very much homage G1 Soundwave.
Yeah. But again, they could actually completely throw me off with that because they could bring in the Prime and the movie, and they could also bring in animated, but also the War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron one. You could have some disc,
But not for 86.
I need me a new Rat Bat guitar.
Got distracted. Fine.
There you go.
86 Astro Train.
The next one, I think we're going to have a similar conversation that we just had about Shockwave, but the next one is Astro Train. I was talking to Paul about this the other day on his separate video, because we did one together. Please go watch it. He wants this to have what he coined as the Springer treatment. So how they beefed up that Voyager Springer and made it from, a really crappy toy that Anna and I both hated into a toy that's pretty decent, I think. I think they could do that with Astro Train. They take away the greebles, they cover the leg part in the shuttle mode, they give the colors from the dramatic capture. I think they could really beef this up and make it look nice.
Okay, yeah, I can take that.
Sure.
It doesn't need the doohickey he came with.
Right, take off the coal car and all the guns and put that plastic into fixing the stuff.
Making his toy better.
Yeah, because he's a little bit stumpy, so make the legs longer, do something with the wings, do the leg cover thing, and yeah. I'd be totally fine.
True.
And then he has to have
that would be happy too.
Red and yellow door.
That's fine.
I'm just saying, if he's gonna be 86, that to me is like you can't have 86 Astro Train without the red and yellow door and shut off.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
What?
No.
You don't know the red and yellow door for Astro Train?
No, what are you talking about?
That was like his door to I don't know, open up his insides for the cargo hatch. Like when they opened him up to throw out Megatron and the rest. That's the hatch that opens up.
Oh, was it red? Okay, cool.
It's red and yellow. And to me, it's crazy that you guys don't remember that because it's such a departure in the paint scheme from the rest of the toy.
Okay, we'll do it.
Or the rest of the figure.
Toy Hacks will do it. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Where am I? Astro Train. Snarl is getting... Sorry, Anna, did you say something?
Yeah, I just yelled Snarl.
Okay, yeah, Snarl is coming back. Yay, he was kind of hard to get. And finally, we have the Last Night Nemesis Prime, which will almost assuredly be that Age of Extinction Prime that just came out with the night parts and a little bit darker color scheme and the red paint on the face. So, yay.
My favorite use of Nemesis Prime ever is just he's angry.
Has such potential.
I'm Nemesis Prime today. Grr, grr, grr.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Stupid insane.
But after that, we have this interesting thing called 30th Anniversary Capsule, which I believe should be 40th Anniversary Capsule because that is how old the movie will be next year. But it's the re-releases of some older figures. except for one, but we're going to get there. First, we have Deluxe Hound, who will probably be that initial color scheme that was supposed to be at Target that got canceled. It'll be that, finally. It did come out in Autobots United, slightly different colors, so Hound will be a single pack. Yeah, he'll be back. Next, we have Voyager Scourge. It's been a long time since that toy came out, so he'll be back. Voyager Hot Rod. Same thing about Scourge. It's been a while since he came out. Will he be magenta more than orange this time? I hope so.
That'd be fun.
Those colors looked really good on the G1 toy, so I would love it on the modern toy. That's one of the best Transformers I think ever released. So
they teased it that we were supposed to get him with Velocitron. Never happened.
Well, that's the Target Master one. Still want that too. Yeah. And then the weird one is Anniversary Leader Optimus Prime. What is that? Is it the Earthrise Leader again? I feel like no. Is it the Commander without the trailer? I feel like maybe.
Probably.
But definitely an odd kind of listing.
I don't know. It still seems odd that they would release that at the leader price point, even without the extra bits.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The only cool thing I can think of is that, that figure does have a double grille like many Optimuses do. And I'd really like the vehicle mode grille to have Thrust's very scared face on it.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
I know
There's
Toy Hacks
stickers
made
for that, but those stickers are
Yeah,
torture.
Toy Hacks did make that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't imagine putting those stickers on. Like, I think I would probably die during the
Yeah, it
time I
would
was
not be
putting
good if
those
I did
on.
it. But as a Tampo, I think that would be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Thrust is missing from all of these Conehead reissues we've seen lately, so that's odd.
So far.
So far. He'll come around. That's the end of my list. What are you guys excited for?
Yeah, we talked about it as we went. We're good.
I think all the mini bots, right? Like, just kind of getting close to completing that line. We'll be excited.
I'm excited for Windcharger and
Yeah.
Razor Claw. Those are my two big ones. I love some love for the Universe line.
Credix is cool. I like getting a Credix.
Credix sounds
I
very
agree.
exciting.
Yeah.
God, I mean, that to me is like, I remember as a kid watching the Transformers movie, and those are like the first actual bot modes you see. And it was just like, it was Transformers feeling, but still very alien. And God, that was cool. I don't know.
I'm actually excited to. I'm excited to see more pictures as we go to the Combaticons, because I will get to decide if I like it or not. Because I mean, yeah, we've seen pictures of Blastoff as an individual, and he looks cool. But how is the combining going to look? How is the combining going to work? Is the combining going to work with the skeleton, but look in a way that still looks right? Or is it going to suddenly look like... I thought, was it Vortex we saw instead?
Vortex.
Not Blastoff?
Vortex is
Okay.
out later this year. I didn't know if there was some image of him.
They're both
like,
the
art somewhere.
flyy guys from Bruticus.
They're both the flyy
I
guys. I just
mixed
didn't
them
know
up.
if there was a thing that I missed.
They
I'm
have-
sorry.
Nearly the
No.
identical heads.
They do. They do have very similar heads.
They do.
And they both have about the same amount of almost no characterization in the original series.
That's kind of why I
So-
love Swindle. Is like Swindle not only has like the most different head of all the Combaticons, he's the only Combaticon that doesn't have a visor and a face mask, and he by far has the most personality of all the Combaticons.
He gets characterization, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you read everything, they've all gotten characterization at one time or another because people love the Combaticons. They like putting them into things. But I would really like to see how that's all going to work out. Because I can deal with the skeleton if they can get it to look right. Right? Like, I was okay with the skeleton idea for Minosaur, of course, because Minosaur always operates on a skeleton. I don't
Right.
actually think it looks good on the aerial bots. Like, I think it could have looked good, and I get that the aerial bots are almost slavish to bad animation, but I really want Bruticus to look good. I
Right.
don't know. I kind of like Bruticus. Like, it's
I
as
think-
far
I
as
think
like
the
a
biggest
scary
thing
robot
with,
bad
like,
guy.
I feel like the biggest thing with the skeleton is it just makes the combiner like so much more solid. And so that's really like the biggest, advantage to it. I mean, that's where like all these masterpiece combiners, right? Like just throw a pair of pants with it. So it's like here's Hasbro's turn to include pants.
I'm saying, like, I'm okay with the concession that they make it a skeleton if it somehow looks right to me. Like, if
Right.
it still manages to mostly look like it did, or that Scramble City vibe of not having a skeleton. Like, if they manage to get the skeleton in there in a way that just melds well with the individuals, then I'll be good. That's tricky though, right? Because that would mean that the onslaught we get would have, whatever Treller-ish thing they give to make the skeleton out of. That would basically, you would unfold it and it would have a lot of colors in it, right? Because it would have a little swindle colors and a little brawl colors and a little blast off colors and a little vortex colors, so that it all just better. If they did that, I think I could really like it, even if it's using the skeleton design. So I'm curious to see what they do. I'm curious to see if it's something that makes me happy, or if I'm just going to be completely out on this generation of combiners. Because I really do not like how those aerial bots look. Senticons, can't wait to finish my G2 version. That'll be great. I think it looks really cool. But those aerial bots are not doing it for me. I would take a G2 of the Constructicons too. Like, they're okay. Not in love with it, but if they did a G2 set of those Constructicons, I'd go for it.
Orange, please.
Especially orange. Orange.
I could
the
see
orange
that
so
happening.
bad.
I think they could just repurpose the yellow one as Tonkinator now.
Orange.
Right.
I want the orange so bad.
I agree.
The orange would be neat.
It's just so heinously bright. I love it.
That's the whole point of G2. Yellow is like, oh, that's normal. I see that every day.
Right.
Orange is like, what the heck is this?
Right. Well, and I think too, like for G2, if you're gonna release a G2 collection, like I think they've done a really good job of like all the characters they released in there. Like, but I think you need a G2 Devastator in there to say
I agree.
that's like I've got a complete G2 collection or whatever, like one that's representative of the line.
Yeah.
So on this list, we're missing some stuff. There's not a new rescue bot, which breaks a trend.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be it. Actually, I lost my train of thought on
this will be everything. I think there'll be more stuff because
we'll get the exclusives and the whatevers and the other stuff.
Yeah, even for leak listing, it's more fun to give it to us multiple times in a year than it is once. So yes, this is a lot of stuff, but I think there will be some more. There'll be some surprises.
Right.
Yep.
Those surprises will be leaked long before they're officially revealed, but there'll be leaked surprises later. We'll be back with more link.
Yeah,
link lists. I was going to say link
it's
lists.
interesting. Like, have we seen as many leaks on, like of the figures these days? Like, I feel like the Prime v Prime and some of those guys, like, they're getting it earlier, but it's really just kind of more at the very beginning of like when the Asian releases come out, not necessarily like is leaked. And I do think it seems like that they have some of those, UK reviewers that they're getting some of those figures or whatever.
I remember what else we're missing.
What else are we missing, Christian?
I remember what else we're missing. We're missing a Lio Kaiser friend.
Okay.
Like all the HasLabs have come with a friend that have come out later. Mm-hmm. The Dino Force or, Sideburn and Toe Line, that sort of stuff. Skybite. Some of those have been exclusives. Maybe that's where Lyle Kaiser's friend is going to be, but I don't know who else they would make.
There really aren't a lot of characters in Victory.
We pretty much did Victory.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be the one that I don't think. I don't know. I don't see it. Do you see it? Road
I
Caesar?
can't even think of who else is in the cast.
Road Caesar. Road Caesar.
Yeah.
It's Road Caesar. But I just
No.
don't see that. Like, that's a lot of engineering. That's a lot of characters. That's a lot of Japan. That's a lot of something people won't know very well.
I feel like
Yeah.
Road
I love
Caesar
Road
is going to
Caesar.
come out in HasLab. I don't know. I mean, I could see it.
It will come out in HasLab.
Yeah.
Because it's like
And
half
Hand
as
Cross.
much of a toy as Leo Kaiser.
So.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
that'll be
Land
them too.
Cross ain't going to happen either, yeah.
Oh yeah, Landcross. No.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Also
Road
missing-
Caesar will happen eventually, but I just don't think they're going to happen as friends this soon.
Yes. Also missing any robots in disguise to continue on with the Omega Prime friends. I figured we'd see at least another Autobot brother.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That might be, maybe we get that out of, if we get a new Studio Series Sunstreaker, Lamborghini to Lamborghini, Prowl, maybe he gets remolded out of that. I mean, it'd be a heavy remold.
Heavy, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a really light remold and very disappointing. One or the other.
Yeah.
Or can like Swindle and X Brawn share? I don't. Maybe.
Well, and like you were talking about, we're not getting another rescue bot. I mean, the other two rescue bots are a little trickier to do. You've got Boulder and Blades, and like, could you do Blades from a Vortex or Protectobot Blades? Maybe, but that's a really different helicopter look that Rescue Bot's Blade has.
Right.
And Boulder being the bulldozer is maybe we get him from one of the Constructicons, but even then, that he's different than that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I presume we'll see Commandos at some point, from the RID universe or Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
I
could see that. Well, and so in the
hope-
chat, they're wondering, like, are we going to get Computron in, like, 2027? I don't
I think
know.
27 will be Defensor.
Right. Well, do you think it's going to be... Yeah. No, I guess you're probably right. I could see, unless they do one in... Could they do one in Studio Series?
Not 86.
No.
Because the Technobots
guess
didn't
not.
come out till after the
Sure.
What's that?
If they open it up, maybe. I mean, Defensor appeared in Devastation, so that's Combiner Wars 100%. So
That's kind of, I don't know, like stretching it a little bit, but so
Yeah, the
86
Technobots came
Combiner.
out season 3 after the movie, so that they wouldn't be 86 Studio Series.
right.
I would love to see new Technobots. We've talked about that a lot. Because Phil loves them, I love them, Anna loves them.
I think we'll get
I
there.
love them
It'll
too,
just be a while
Christian.
still.
Lucas
We all
hates
love
them.
Technobots.
Lucas hates Technobots.
Next week's episode is going to be an intervention for Lucas on why he hates the Technobots and why he's
I
wrong.
don't understand this. When have I ever said that I hate the Technobots? I love the Technobots.
They just like to put words in your mouth, and then hopefully you'll believe them someday.
I think the thing is you just didn't say it enough,
Right.
so we don't believe
Yeah, so we don't believe you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the one that brought it up
I'll
from the
make it
chat,
trouble.
so I appreciate those in the chat bringing up the Technobots because
I do think
I
we'll
like
get
how
a
you
G2
needed the
Bruticus.
chat to inspire you to bring up the Technobots because you love them so much.
G2 Bruticus, I think, will happen. I think they're going to do something different than Minosaur because Minosaur is clearly a problem.
Yeah, I don't want that again. Like the
It's
Minotaur
been
release
years.
has
Finish
just
it.
been not fun.
Just do gift
Wait.
sets. We like them. It's fine.
It gets up would
Right.
be fine, or a faster, or just release it in mainline like normal, but do it at a normal pace.
Yep.
This ultra slow pace has just been like for the one person who said, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait for the G2." I still have not gotten to experience new Minotaur.
Oh,
Nope.
it's great.
And there's nothing on the horizon that has the other two yet either.
Do you have breakdown at least?
Seriously, everything that's out. I have everything that's out. I don't have. I've never touched a Motor Master though from this, so I don't know what the combination feels like, right? Because
Oh man,
I've
you're
been
missing
waiting.
out.
I know. I've seriously considered picking up a regular Motor Master multiple times just so I could be like, okay, I'm just gonna put
Yeah.
together a crappy, half-ass version. But no, I'm waiting like I'm supposed to for my
I
purple
think
one.
weird repaints like the G2 combiners, that's perfect for MTO. Truly. That's our
Right.
use case every time we talk about it. Finish up the Stunticons, do a Devastator, do the Bruticus,
Sure.
Battle Gaia. Please let me pay for a Battle Gaia. Please, Hasbro. I want it so bad. Battle
But
Gaia.
yeah, it's like you and 3 other people that want it from.
That's why they're made to order. Just make as many as people order them.
We
Don't have to
made
do a new
7.
If
mold.
they need help.
We'll make 7. Yay.
So Enos does bring up that the 86 tag is gone, so anything is game. So there you go.
That's a fair point. Yeah, that is actually a good point. It's like it gets under Paul's skin to no end.
Well, I also
What do you
noticed
mean the 86 tag is gone?
On the boxes.
on the box. There's no more.
Oh.
Like
Well,
on the listings that we're seeing, we saw the 86 tag, but as far as on the boxes,
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
we could open up Studio Series to be like from the cartoon or from whatever.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was interesting too on the Studio Series scrapper or whatever. Like they got rid of the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Those are officially gone now. Not that I always felt bad because I never actually really used them, but I felt like I had to keep them.
Yeah, I kept mine too.
You know who's not in Studio
Kyle,
Series
what I
next
meant.
year?
What's
Any
that?
more Gamer Girls?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
Oh.
I don't have any more things to say about that other than it's interesting. Or no concept series either.
Yeah.
No 86. It says Transformers the movie, and no 86.
Yeah,
Do they just not have any numbers anymore?
No, they got rid of the
Yep,
numbers.
the numbers are gone.
Cool.
Let me grab Sentinel.
Yeah, it really bothers some people. It doesn't matter to me, but
I've never
Yeah.
cared about the numbers.
No, I know. I don't either, but I know that really bothered Paul, and I know Jim was really big on collecting all the numbers too.
yeah, if you're a box collector,
Right.
I mean, technically, Sentinel Prime does have a number on his box.
Is it Transformers 1?
Yeah, it's 1. So, yeah, you can see. And Paul made the point, too, of like how much more similar these look to the differentiation in the packaging between this and the Age of the Primes is not a lot.
Right.
that's true. Yep, a lot more similar. Next week,
Yeah.
can we spend the whole show with me trying to figure out how I'm going to get the Devastator I care about, the Blockies Devastator? Because I'm really curious how that thing's going to come out in the end. 'Cause I would like to have it.
Buy all the Defender vehicles, and then it's a kit thing at the end.
At the end, happen? Who knows?
It's a kit thing at the end. That's what they said.
Did that
That's how
picture
they've been.
say in a
That's
language
how they've
I
been
can't read?
advertising it.
And
Okay.
I have so much more faith in Blockies than in Hasbro right now, so you'll get it.
I'll get it. I just don't know how yet. Do I have to buy 2 more waves of Defender?
You just buy the individual vehicles from them, but yeah.
No, I'm gonna buy the whole waves.
Okay, do it then.
Shipping's expensive. I'll just buy the whole waves.
Okay.
There you go.
Then yes.
It's okay. I like the Defenders anyway. They're neat. No, that's not a Defender figure. That's That's the butthole of a figure that's already a butthole.
It's butthole squared.
The shiny silver butthole. So, on that note, are we done?
Yep, I think we're done. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for everyone in the chat. I know we had a lot of good, really good participation tonight.
Enots, Omega Prime Power, Rodimus Prime, Zaldron, Adamagus, Adamagnus, Collecticon. Thank you all for jumping in and sharing your thoughts.
Paul Morales, I think, earlier too.
Oh, yeah. Another Paul. Yeah.
And Collecticon.
Yep.
So, there you go. All right,
I believe it's pronounced collect icons.
Oh, well, there you go.
At least he's
I did not
collect
realize
tables.
That. Did not realize that. So,
yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see everyone next week.
Not me, though.
Oh, yeah, you're on vacation, so bye.
You guys, all your vacations.